So today I want to talk to you about the clarity a strategic plan can give you. So this is going to be very relevant if you're a business owner or entrepreneur looking to start something new, or you're just feeling overwhelmed and you need some clarity. This is going to be right up your street. So keep watching, keep listening. Welcome back to consecutive day 1733 of a diary of a runpreneur. Today's topic is all about strategic planning, and if you put it into the right format, the clarity a strategic plan can give you. But before we get started, don't forget this is part of a fundraiser of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style. And more people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. So back to the topic at hand. Strategic planning or strategic plan and the clarity it can provide. Well, the reason for this episode today is that I've spent the lion's share of today finishing off my strategic plan for my new company operations director and the product that we're launching to the market as early as next week, digital operations director, or we'll certainly be beta testing it. And if you've not started a business before, or you've not kind of taken something to market before, you won't fully appreciate how many moving parts and how many things you have to do to get something ready for launch. It's a huge amount of work. And it becomes very, very quickly, especially if you're working with a team as well, it can become incredibly overwhelming. Who's doing what, when it's due, what we need to get done by this week, and so forth. And that's where the benefit of a strategic plan comes in. Now, there are so many different variations. A strategic plan is a form of business plan. It's a simplified version. I think the old days of producing 200-page document business plans are behind us. Not in all circumstances. I think if you're looking to raise finance of some degree, then people are going to want to see a little bit more kind of blurb or content within a business plan. But the reality is you need it to be pretty succinct, pretty digestible. So especially if you're sharing it internally with your team, you need to get everybody pulling in the same direction. And that's why quite often less is more in these situations. Now, I've used various different formats of kind of planning tools over the years in business. And the one I currently use now is kind of a mishmash of the vision plan from Gino Wickman's traction model and, the one-page plan from Vern Harnish's scaling up based on the Rockefeller habits style. So I've kind of mishmashed two versions of the plan together to create something that I feel kind of covers what I need a little bit more kind of comprehensively. Now, I'm not going to go through every little detail in the plan, but I'll give you the kind of the headline aspects of it and how it's all of a sudden it's given me massive clarity on what I'm doing, what I need to build, etc. And it's a really, really powerful kind of exercise you can go through. So basically I start with the core values of the company. So the company culture, what all of us stand for. Anybody who works within this organisation, what do they have, the rules they have to abide by? I call them the 12 commandments because there's 12 of them in my kind of operations director business. We then look at the core focus. What's the kind of core purpose of the business? What's the mission statement? Where are we going? What are we doing? We then go into a process where we're looking at a 10-year plan, or the BHAG, which is called in Vern Harnish's scaling up style, which is the big, hairy, audacious goal. So where do you want to be in 10 years? It's usually quite big, usually quite game-changing here. The kind of more audacious you can be, sometimes the better. It does need to be realistic to some degree. But then we then bring it down to what I'm expected to achieve within 3 years. And what you'll generally find by starting at 10, you can kind of condense it down to where you should be within 3 years to be on track. We then bring it down to 1 year. And what we're trying to do is paint the picture of what the business looks like from kind of a position of revenue, of how many customers, how many employees, all the kind of variables of growth that you want to put into the section, just to kind of give you a visualization of where you need to be. Once you've got the 1 year, you then break it down into quarterly chunks, so 90-day sprints, so 4 quarters in a year. Well, how should that look over the course of the next kind of 4 quarters to get to where you need to be after 1 year? And you're breaking it down, and very quickly you're kind of producing a very clear pathway from the journey of where you are today to 90 days ahead, to a year ahead, to 3 years ahead, to 10 years ahead. And you've got a bit of an understanding of how you're going to get there. We then dive into the marketing strategy and look at kind of how you're going to generate those sales or that performance. What's the marketing strategies you're going to use? What's the guarantees you're going to give? What's the proven process? What's the unique selling points? All of these things that are going to kind of differentiate your business from the competition and how you're going to market it. So that's really, really important. I'm just going to put my light on now because it's just getting a bit darker. So that's really, really important to get the kind of marketing strategy in place. Once you've got your marketing strategy in place, we're then looking at what people we need. How many people do we need? What are their roles? How are they measured? All that side of things. Once we've got the people kind of bottomed out, we're then going to look at the cash side of things. So what does it look like financially from numbers? What's your break-even point? What are your costs? You know, you're still keeping this relatively high level. You're not going to go through every single line. You're kind of giving yourself kind of estimates. Now they need to be pretty educated, and you need to kind of be as accurate as you can with this, but it's just a plan. So you can kind of work out roughly how many sales you're going to need to break even, and all these types of elements, how much revenue, what's your gross margin, all these types of questions that are really, really important that you need to know as a business owner. So once we've got to that stage, we're then looking at the kind of final execution plan. So based on the people you've got, the cash projections that you're targeting, where you want to be in 10, 3, 1 and quarterly, what the steps you need to do to get there, what people are doing what to get there, you know, the cash requirements, the targets, you've KPIs, you've kind of got all of this stuff kind of down on paper. The final execution is then, okay, what needs to be done in order now to kind of get us to where we need to be at the end of quarter. And that type of process to go through, it just gives huge clarity. It might not be perfect, and you might need to revisit this strategic plan every quarter, possibly. That's generally when I would generally look and revise them. Have you achieved what you set out to achieve in the quarterly kind of sprint? And do you need to adjust things accordingly to kind of make it kind of work? But yeah, it's a really, really powerful tool. And all of a sudden I've gone today alone from being pretty far progressed with what we're doing as a business, but just feeling a little bit out of control. All of a sudden I've got a very clear picture of the key things that needs to be done in order to give us the chance of hitting what targets we've set for our first quarter. So yeah, I think the learnings from my diary is the great Benjamin Franklin once quoted, "A fail to plan is a plan to fail." And it's very much applicable here, certainly more so than ever when you're starting something new. If you're starting something new, you need to have a plan on how you're going to take it from point A, where you are today, to point B, where you want to be, in however far the distance that looks like. And if you don't have a plan, you're basically kind of navigating in the dark, and inevitably you're going to fail. If you have a plan, I'm not saying you're going to succeed, but you're giving yourself a blueprint or a map or guidance in a direction, and hopefully if you've got a team of people, they're all pulling in the same direction, and that's the most important thing. You've got a much better chance of getting where you want to be with a plan or a map that people need to follow. So yeah, if you're building something, starting something new, changing direction, changing strategy, if you don't have a plan, you're going to leave yourself a big mountain to climb. I think I can't remember, somebody said if you're going to chop down a tree, spend the first 5 hours sharpening your axe, and 2 hours chopping down the tree, something along those lines. I can't remember the exact quote, but you get the gist of it. It's all in the planning, which is going to give you the likelihood of whether you're going to achieve what your desired outcome is. So hopefully that makes sense and that's useful. Any questions or comments, drop me a line. I'll respond to everyone. I'll be talking a lot more about this over the coming weeks and months as I'm embarking on this journey of starting something brand new and taking it to market. So any questions or comments, drop me a line. I respond to everyone. Do remember though, if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run blogging on consecutive days, a distance of lap the world, barefoot style, do give this a subscribe, share, like and comment. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. Thank you as always, stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.